Hello and welcome back. My name is Jennifer Smith. The first week usually begins without much shape to it. Not a clear beginning, not a clean edge. It starts with waking up somewhere unfamiliar and realizing there's nowhere else to be for the day. From what I've seen, that realization lands quietly. You open your eyes, you listen to the hallway. Someone's already moving around. And whatever you brought in with you, nerves, regret, relief, it's all still there. Today, I want to talk about what that first week is actually like. Not the version people imagine from the outside, just the way it tends to feel when you're living inside it, hour by hour. The first few days often move slowly, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is unfamiliar. Meals have times, groups have times, breaks have times, and your body hasn't adjusted yet to being told where to be next. I've noticed people often sit through those early groups trying to look normal, listening carefully, but not always absorbing much. Sometimes you're too tired to track the conversation. Sometimes your mind keeps drifting back to home or work or whatever you left unfinished. Sleep can be uneven that first week. You might fall asleep early and wake up too soon, or lie awake listening to doors close, footsteps pass, someone coughing down the hall. The nights can feel longer than the days. And then there's the waiting. Waiting for the next group. Waiting for meals. Waiting for your turn to speak. Waiting to feel different, even though no one has said that you will, at least not yet. Group dynamics start forming almost immediately. People notice who talks a lot and who doesn't, who sits in the same chair every day, who keeps their arms crossed, who looks down at the floor. In that first week, most people are watching more than participating, trying to understand the tone of the room, trying to figure out what's expected without asking directly. Sometimes someone shares something raw early on and the room goes quiet. Not uncomfortable exactly, just still. Other times the group stays surface level, and that feels just as heavy. What surprises many people is how exhausting the structure can be. Not physically, but mentally. Being present all day, being seen, being around others without the usual escapes. There's often a moment midweek when it hits. This isn't a short visit. This is the place you're in right now. From what I've seen, that moment doesn't always come with panic. Sometimes it comes with a dull heaviness, a kind of settling that isn't quite acceptance, but isn't resistance either. By the end of the first week, nothing is resolved. That's important to say. You don't suddenly feel better. You don't suddenly understand everything. What does change, slightly, is familiarity. You know the schedule. You recognize faces. You've learned where the coffee is kept and which chair feels least uncomfortable. Many people later say the first week wasn't the hardest because of cravings or emotions. It was hard because of the waiting, the not knowing, the feeling of being between who you were outside and who you haven't become yet. And that space, awkward, unfinished, quiet, is where the first week lives. Most days don't end with insight. They end with dinner and maybe a walk down the hallway and lights dimming earlier than you'd choose. And then the next morning comes. Not dramatically, just steadily. And the first week continues, one ordinary day at a time.